Welcome to my bivariate presentation on the Fair for Canada campaign. This was a campaign set forth by Bell, Rogers and Telus accusing the federal government of giving an unfair advantage to foreign providers looking to enter the Canadian market. The data I will be using today comes from the Forum Research 2013 dataset, and the number of respondents is 801. My dependent variable is support for Fair for Canada campaign. Its indicators are as displayed below, and the respondents that answered "I do not know" have been declared missing in all of the indicators. My reliability analysis measures outsider companies not providing service to remote areas, Canadians being exposed to U.S. surveillance, Canadian job losses, preferred access to Canadian air rights. This reliability test produced a Cronbach alpha score of 0.71, showing that these indicators produce a good measure for our concept. The raw index are examined for measures of central tendency. They are as follows. The dependent variable was created by recoding the index into three categories: low, moderate, and high support for the campaign, placing approximately 1/3 of the cases into each category. The dependent variable produced a median of 2, indicating the middle value in the range of 2, as well as a skewness of 0.14 and a kurtosis of 1.48 negative, indicating an asymmetrical distribution with a long tail to the right and a flatter distribution curve. My first hypothesis is that the lower the household income, the lower the level of support for this campaign. The rationale behind this is that Bell, Telus, and Rogers led this campaign as it threatened their monopoly and pricing power. Therefore, the lower income bracket should be against this campaign, as it would give them more choices and lower their expenses. My second hypothesis is that the lower the age, the lower the level of support for the campaign. This is due to the rationale that a mere threat of Verizon entering Canada led to the Big Three targeting the youth of this nation through new contracts. Therefore, this younger age group would reap the rewards of competition if others were allowed in Canadian markets. My last hypothesis states that disapproval of the job Stephen Harper is doing as Prime Minister should have a low support for this campaign. The rationale behind this was that the Fair for Canada campaign was countered by a government campaign which was funded by taxpayers' money, which led to negative views about Harper. I predicted that the lower the household income, the lower the level of support for this campaign. As you can see, this cross-tabulation does not support that. This can be seen in the percentages in red, as well as the tau b of 0.00 that proves that this campaign is not related to income. The chi-squared value of 0.76 shows that the difference may be due to chance. In my second cross-tabulation, as we move across the row for low support for this campaign, it is evident that the inverse is true for what we suggested. 40% of people 65 and above had low levels of support, as opposed to the 18% of respondents younger than 25. The tau c tells us that this is a very weak relationship whose difference may very well be due to chance, as the chi-squared value is 0.07. My last hypothesis is proven by this cross-tabulation. As it can be seen, 41% of the people who disapprove with Harper's work as Prime Minister also show low support for the Fair for Canada campaign. The Kramer's V of 0.21 shows that this is an acceptable strength of association. The chi-squared of 0.00 tells us that its statistical significance is very likely representation of the population and is not due to chance. An ANOVA test cannot be run, as the independent variable only has 2 categories. Therefore, it could be summarized that age and income are not strong measures of support for the Fair for Canada campaign. However, view on the job Prime Minister Harper is doing is a strong measure for this campaign, as disapproval of Harper's job as Prime Minister led to a low support for this campaign. From my brief research into this issue, a possible explanation could be that because the Fair for Canada campaign was countered by the government's own campaign using taxpayers' money, the citizens weren't too pleased.